Fix-It Tony here. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today we have the Beater Yukon back, and it needs an oil change and it needs a couple other things, but that will be on a separate video. If you're interested in that, that will be in the description. It's been about 3,000 miles since the last oil change, so we'll go ahead and get this one done. We're going to do it on the floor. You know, some people, you know, that's the way you have to do it. You guys don't have the luxury of a lift. So I'm going to show you. I'm an old-fashioned mechanic. I can do it on the floor too. So we'll get our big floor plan and put it in there and go ahead and get all the stuff and squeeze underneath. I'm not going to put a jack under because I'm being lazy right now, but we'll get this done.
The only drawback to doing this is, you know, there isn't a whole lot of room without jacking the vehicle up, and I'm being lazy today. I'm not going to jack it up. I'm just going to squeeze my way under here and go ahead and drop the oil. We have a little bit of oil leak here. That's from the front cover. The pans, we replaced the gasket in the pan, but that front cover seems to be leaking now, and it's not horrible, so we're just going to leave it alone for the time being. We'll let this oil drain out. We're using this big pan because we're also going to take that transmission pan loose and go ahead and replace it because it's been leaking and there's damage on the actual pan. So we'll let this drain out and we'll get the filter off.
All right, so we have our scope here. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Let's stick it in our hole and stick a gander and see what we have going on in here. So, sorry, it's a little more difficult since we're kind of don't have the room we usually have. So let's take a look. That looks pretty clean. I mean, there's always a little bit of residual oil left in there. It's just the way that these are. So we're gonna just move around a little bit. Take a look and see what we got going on. See if I can maneuver a little bit. The rotating assembly, not a whole lot to see in there, but the biggest thing, there's the oil pickup. That's all cleaned off now. It does look cleaner than it did before, that's for sure. In fact, yes, how clean that is. Before it had a bunch of buildup in there. So we're doing really good in here. So we'll go ahead and finish draining her, and I'll just going to pop that filter off, and we'll open up the filter and take a look inside. Okay, so we have our drain plug back on. We have an oil filter here. Go ahead and grab onto here and see if we can loosen her up. See what kind of angle I need to get this thing on. Trying to do this one-handed upside down. Always fun. So I feel you guys out there doing this in your driveways, it's entertaining. At least you have two hands to do it. I only have one, but we can grab it and just get in there, and we just need to get her a little bit loose, and we can do the rest by hand. We're gonna take this oil filter apart too while we have it off and take a look and see how much we have, how much garbage we have in there. Kind of curious about that. You guys probably are too, because I know a lot of you have been stating about the possibility of having an issue with the oil filters clogging up. I have yet to see that. I mean, I've seen buildup, but I have not seen clogged oil filters yet. But again, sometimes we get surprised with stuff we don't expect. So I'll take this off here, and then we'll pull it out, and we'll pull it apart really quick. While this finishes draining, we'll throw another filter on there, and then we'll take the other one and examine it. Okay, got a new oil filter. We're going to use the Fram synthetic this time. And again, this is just a beater car, so I use whatever is available, readily available, and you can use whatever you like. But as long as it is a higher level, like their heavy duty filter or their synthetic filter, it doesn't matter what brand, they're all pretty much, not, well, you know, some are better than others, but they'll get the job done. So we'll push this out and we'll take this filter apart. Okay, so we have the filter. I just popped off the top here, and of course, my luck, it just dumped right into the oil. So let that filter off. I've been having that kind of day to day. So we're going to pull our filter here. And we'll pull the media apart here. If I try to get it out and take a look, the oil's hot right now. So pour this out, make sure nothing, let's see here. We don't have any magic pixie dust or glitter in there, so we're good. And we'll pour this out slowly but surely. Let's see what we got. So it's a little bit thicker, heavier oil in here, which is usually what we see. This is a filter that won't get past the media. And of course, there's our spring. So we'll take a look inside. And we do see some grimy stuff in there. get a little bit closer and take a look here. So looks like it's down in there. Yeah, so you can see, I just kind of put my finger in it, that tarry stuff, that's what's not getting past the element, and that's what's coming out of the engine when it starts breaking down all that debris. There's a couple specks in there, but I don't know what, who knows where those came from, but they don't feel rigid. This is probably just carbon. Oh, of course, and we just toss that back in there. So that seems fine. We'll take a look in here. Let me get the light on so you can see it better already. So we got the light on here, so we can take a look and make sure we don't see anything crazy going on. Got that 4K definition, so you can really see in there. Got bubbles, but that's about it. I didn't really suspect that we had anything going on because we have a magnet on our drain plug too, which we didn't have anything on. So this looks good. I don't see anything crazy. Just the darker oil that was heavier that gets stuck in the housing, which wasn't clogging this filter. This filter probably could have gone longer without an issue. And then just the normal debris that's, you can kind of see in there. And there's no pixie dust in there, no sparkles, but there is the grit, and that's the stuff that's getting broken up by this oil. So it's doing its job. So with that said, we'll go ahead and add some oil. So before we add our oil, we'll go ahead and take a look inside. And that looks dramatically better. If you look at the previous videos, we set a rocker arm. I'm trying to get it to go over there. That rocker arm had a bunch of gray, and sorry, brown heavy buildup. So did the cylinder head here. As you can see, it's cleaned it up pretty dramatically. The valve spring looks better. So it's doing its job. Another success story with Valvoline Restore and Protect. We'll go ahead and add our oil and send this one on its way. Okay, we'll go ahead and start her up. Start oil pressure shoot up. We're good there. Kind of a little bit of a twitchiness, but that's normal if you guys have these early 2000s GM trucks. You see the big screen, there will be a video coming up for that. That's actually a new addition, kind of cool. It's actually very, very cheap, kind of $100 for that thing, and it has wireless Apple CarPlay. So that'll be in the description if you're interested in upgrading your stereo. And this is movable and adjustable. Oil pressure looks good. We'll look good. We'll reset our change oil. And we'll go check our oil level here. Looking good. One thing about these older GM trucks, man, this AC in this thing will freeze you out on the hottest day. I kid you not. I don't know how many times I've been in the newer vehicles and the air conditioner just doesn't get going. This thing, I mean, you can see how clean that dipstick is. This thing was nasty looking before. So that tells you how much cleaning's going on inside. But yeah, the air conditioner on this thing's phenomenal. You actually gotta keep it a little bit turned down. Don't let it turn it down all the way because it'll freeze you out of the truck. So take a look at our oil, and we're looking good. Probably need about another half quart, it looks like. But we're nice and clean, so that's what we're really looking for. So cool beans. Okay, so you know, all the service manuals say 6 quarts in this engine. It takes 6.5. Just do yourself a favor. Just put 6.5 in there. Don't even bother with 6 because it never quite works out. So in any case, we got this one done. Valvoline Restore and Protect doing the job. This is getting kind of expensive, guys. $30 a gallon is what you're looking at, which isn't terrible with inflation and everything going on. But if it can save you an engine, you know, it's worth all the money in the world. So please like, subscribe, and share. More stuff coming up soon. There will be another video that's going to be launching with this one for the transmission service and the transmission output shaft seal that we're going to be also be doing on this truck separately. So please click in the description if you're interested in that. Also, we got a sponsorship video that's going to be on for that stereo I showed you a minute ago. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.